Hey everyone, it's Krista here with Blooms and Brushstrokes, and with Valentine's Day coming up just on Friday, I thought, why not get together and paint a Valentine's Day card? So I did a quick little short yesterday. I painted a card for my partner Mark because I don't have a Valentine's Day card for him, and so I thought, well, I'm going to paint him one up quick because who doesn't love a handmade card? But I kind of painted it in a little bit more of a more raw way, like still my style, but it's a bit more raw than I would probably have done. But I was like, well, I'm painting bleeding hearts for Mark, so I should maybe make it something that he would think was interesting. So I did it a little bit more rough and raw. But today we're gonna paint a card. We're gonna do bleeding hearts again, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently than I did in my short. But hey, why not? Let's get cracking, you guys. Let's have a little fun. This will be a quick, kind of easy tutorial, I'm hoping. So let's get right to it and not waste any more time. Yeah, this is the original one I painted for Mark. We're gonna do something similar, with the green leaves and everything, and then the hearts, but we will probably just leave it a little bit. I don't know if we'll blow them. Like, I kind of liked it before I blew the hearts, but I had it in my head that I wanted to blow that color around, so that's what I did. But anyways, you guys, let's get cracking and let's draw this out together. Again, you guys, my disclaimer, I am not a professional drawer by any stretch of the imagination. So these are pretty basic drawings because I add in all the detail with the paint and with my finishing. I got this a little bit crooked here. There we go. And with my finishing ink. So let's go ahead here and I'm going to do it. I just kind of have this idea of like one bleeding heart in the middle. So again, if you guys don't know what a bleeding heart looks like, maybe go have a quick look on the internet. You know, they're heart shape. And which direction do I want this to be coming in? I kind of want this to go like this. So they are a heart shape, and then they have that little kind of part that comes down, and that's typically white, but you can get white bleeding hearts as well. So we're going to do pink ones, and we're just exaggerating the size of them a little bit. Just for fun, and they don't have to be perfect. So they are in the shape of a heart though, and the reason I'm putting this little line in here is because they are three-dimensional. They are not just one-dimensional. So let's go and put a smaller one, showing that it's kind of going off in the distance a bit. I like that. Do we have one more? No, maybe let's go up. Similar to what I've already drawn, but let's go up here. And okay. And let's go with one more. And then we'll do a little bud on the end of this. So those would be kind of looking right at us. So it's going to be fairly basic. Then as far as the leaves go, so the leaves are all kind of like they're jagged on the edges, and they kind of, we'll just do a couple here. So that's kind of the shape that they look like. Obviously, again, not to a T, but we're just drawing, kind of what our heart desires at this point in time. We can have more coming off this. Maybe have one kind of going backwards. pencil line in there. So we can do this fairly easily, you guys. Again, if you don't know how to draw one or draw these, I would say maybe just go have a look on line and get familiar with, I don't like that one. Get familiar with what a bleeding heart bush looks like. It's just kind of a fun, you know, something different than a rose. I thought about doing a rose because I bought myself some roses today. I don't even really like roses, but I kind of forgot actually. They kind of clump in like threes. I kind of forgot about that a little bit. Let's see here if I can adjust this. Sorry guys. I kind of forgot that they kind of there we go. I mean, that doesn't have to be exact, but that I think looks better. Let's, ooh, it's hard to draw that angle. Let's go one more going up. Okay. Perfect. I think that looks pretty good so far, you guys. So that's going to be the quick, easy drawing of it all. And we're going to make this, you know what? Do I like all three of those? I think I'm going to, I think for, I don't like this one. I just want to take one of these off. I can kind of go like this. And that's just going to be like little, okay. So we've got our drawing done. Very basic, you guys. And so in this one, you know, I dropped down color and then I kind of blew it all around. And I'm going to stick with doing something quite similar, but I'm actually going to use, I'm going to use these Mungyo paints. So I'm switching it up. Yesterday, I was using the Yarka paints, but you know what I find that I love that there's so much, because I paint so many like plants and flowers and stuff. Like I love the amount of greens that are in here, and in the Yarka, there's only a few greens that I really like. And so, ooh, there we go. Yeah, I like all of these. This gives me lots more to work with. So I'm going to use these ones today. So, yeah, that's going to do it for that. And if you want, like, I was thinking on marks, I could just put like, you know, like a Be Mine, kind of like you would see engraved into like a tree, you know? So if you want to do that, something like that, but we can do that with the Micron ink at the end instead of having it on there. But yeah, let's get cracking, you guys, and let's get to the fun part of painting. Of course, here I am, not ready again. I get too excited and I forget to get all my supplies ready. All right, I'm back in action here. I'm going to show you guys one of the roses I bought today. I got 12 of them. I just like, but look at how pretty this is. So of course, you know me, I like see it. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to take some pictures of that. And then we're going to paint. We're going to paint something like this. I also had some roses in another bouquet that I wanted a fundraiser. And I took some pictures of those ones too. So roses are going to be on the menu soon, but God forbid we do it during the season of love here. We don't want to do that. I just had it in my head that I was going to do some little bleeding hearts, and you can't, once you get it in your head, you can't get something out until you do it. So that's what's going on with me, you guys. That's how I operate. I drive a lot to and from the farm. And so when I get things in my head, I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. I got to do that. And then it's like, what do they call those? When you get a song in your, when you get a song stuck in your head, I get like that painting stuck in my head. Like I need to do that. And then once I do it, I'm good. And then I'm good for a long time. I don't need to do it again. All right. So let's start with the leaves, you guys. I want to do something like pretty loose, pretty easy. Like this is just something that's like a quick card that we all can do just in time for Valentine's Day, which is on Friday. So let's get to it. So I'm going to get my paintbrush and I'm using a number 12 round, this Royal and Langnickel one. It's one of my go-tos. So you guys will hear me use it lots. I love it. It's fairly new. But anyway, so I'm going to go and put down quite a bit of water in where these leaves are. And I'm putting it down very loosely with, you know, you don't need to stay, I'm just getting everything wet, but I'm staying like kind of in the lines, but not. I just don't want to be a big blob of water. And then we're going to go in with a lighter green. So, oh, I should get my little paper if I have that around here that says the colors so I can let you guys know. Here it is. So I can let you guys know. So I'm actually going to go in very first with the green yellow, which is kind of like a lime green. I'm going to go and put some of that down very first. So pretty diluted, but we are going to go in there and work with some different colors. So we're just going to go and plop that in there. Again, you guys, we're going for that kind of loose painting here. So we just want to just drop that color in there. And that's our first layer. And you can see it's not everywhere. And we're leaving some white in there and a little bit of cat hair as per usual. Let's see if I can get that out. Oh, shoot. It's stuck in the tape, I think. Or is that pencil? Maybe pencil. Okay, never mind that. All right, so we're going to let that kind of dry a bit. More so it's damp, which it won't take long because we don't have a ton of water on there. What we can do while we're waiting for that to dry is do these branches. And so in real life on a bleeding heart bush, the branches are like a reddy brown color, I do believe. I guess the reason that I was going to paint this is because Mark actually gave me a bleeding heart bush as a gift last year. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to drop that down, and I'm not going to make it too crazy or wild. We're going to have lots of that going on with the leaves and with our splatters and all that stuff. So we're kind of keeping it pretty, we're going to keep the branch, when we are going to go over it again with oh shoot, with the ink and everything like that. So we don't want to, we still want it to look like a branch is what I guess I'm trying to say. We don't want it to look like it's just some like random brown coming throughout. And I'm just going over it again with a second pass just to add some depth in there. And it's not like totally smooth. It's a little bit, you know, kind of jagged, but that's just, you know, because I mean, if you did look at them in real life, they are pretty straight and smooth, but we're just going to go with that. Okay. So this is drying up pretty nicely. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to drop down some more color. And so I'm going to go in, I think I'm going to go in with the olive green. Olive green. This was the first one, second one. And again, I sometimes mix them together. So, and I'm just going to plop that color in there a little bit. You know, just to have a little bit of that in there. But again, they're just painting loosely. Just enjoy the process of dropping that color in there and really seeing what it does. Some of these actually dried up a bit more than I thought they would. So I'm just going to go add a little bit more water and a little bit more color. And this is kind of the fun. This is what I really love about like intuitive painting, is kind of just like, you know, feeling out what's going on as opposed to just being so rigid in how you paint. I think it really helps us to even just find our own painting style and to really explore like what is appealing to us as artists or creatives. So that's why when I do these paintings, you guys, I really stress, like, although I know that sometimes you want to recreate exactly what I've done, and it's very flattering, and honestly, I can't think of anything more flattering than that. But what I really want to be able to teach you guys, or to inspire you guys to do, not teach, let's not say that, is to really try to figure out your creative style and to not be inside a box, like, you know, like your creativity be inside of a box. And the reason that I say that is because I think, you know, if you find somebody's style that you really truly love and you follow along with them all the time and you follow everything that they do, you can often kind of close off your creativity, if that makes sense. Because then you start, you know, you just basically follow somebody else's style and then you don't take the time to create your own. Okay, right now I'm dropping in the green gray. I'm dropping a little bit of that in there. Ooh, I'm loving the colors of these already, you guys. Ooh la la. Okay, so yeah, again, I'm just saying that, you know, play around with the colors. I know if you love what I'm doing and you love the outcome of it, definitely you can go ahead and follow exactly what I'm doing. I'll put what I've used in the description. Hopefully you guys can pick up on the colors that I've been using. And yeah, and then kind of go with the flow with that. But really, 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 I mean, I've always kind of been somebody to march to the beat of my own drum and figure out my own style of everything. I honestly was talking to my sister the night we started a podcast. It's called Sister's Social Call. Anyways, we're talking and she was like, I can't remember what she said. Something about, if it was looking at something of somebody else's, like maybe somebody that was doing a podcast. I can't remember exactly what she was saying. And I said to her, honestly, I don't even really like to, yes, I like to learn from other people, but I don't even really like to watch a lot of what other people do because I don't want it to influence my style. And I know that sounds weird. I mean, I follow lots of watercolor artists and stuff like that because I do kind of have my own style down. But as far as like with our podcast, it's like, I don't want to follow a bunch of other sisters' podcasts because I don't want that to influence what our authenticity. Okay, you guys, so I'm going in on these and I've put down water on the hearts lightly, and then I'm adding in this opera pink. It's bright, bright pink. This is the one here. I need to redo one of these with my other set of paints because I can't find it. It might be at the farm, but then it's easy for me to just grab this and show you guys. Because although you can see it on there, this gives you a good idea of what colors I'm actually using. So yeah, so I'm just dropping that pink in there and just like kind of loosely, but still not totally out of the shape, but you can kind of be a little bit wild with it. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of my thing. It's like I just don't want to be influenced by, like, I don't want other people's art to influence what I'm doing, or I don't know how to describe it, but if I'm looking for inspiration, I try to look, how can I describe it? It's like into nature myself, or like buying these flowers, or, you know, whatever. I mean, I think you can learn a lot from people too. Like there's definitely, like, I'm inspired for sure. But as far as like how it goes, like, with my painting style, it's like, I want to really work on continuing to evolve my painting style without the influence of a lot of other people. So while I do follow a lot of I follow other watercolor artists on Instagram and on YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff, I don't follow a ton that are actually watercolor and ink, if you can imagine. And it may be because I can't find any that, I don't know, like there's the odd one that I follow, but I don't really follow too many. And it's not because I don't love them, but it's like, I mean, I'm inspired by them all, but it's like when I was first developing my painting style and kind of really started to figure out what I really like, dropping down water, you guys, and I'm going in with that opera pink. Okay, and then the second pink I went in with there, sorry, I was distracted by talking, was the Crimson Lake is what it's called. But I'm going back in with this one here with the opera pink again. Okay, back to what I was talking about. I just, if you're trying to figure out your style, it's good. And I'm glad I can help you guys, because I mean, it did take me a lot of people and like a few classes and stuff to really try, but it is honestly, what really helped me was I took one watercolor painting class, and it was a bamboo painting class. And I've explained this in one of my very early videos. And that was about the feeling of painting. And that's like, if you see those bamboo paintings, like you would see them in, you know, well, like Asian food places, you'll see them. And anyways, that style of painting is all about the feel of painting. And that's how I didn't even know, but once I started to like really hone in on my painting over the last couple of years, I was really like noticing that I feel the painting. I feel what I'm doing. I love that most of all. Like I love, okay, like I like how this is all feeling. These colors are feeling. This is great. I think this is fun. You know, like something's looking too much for me. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of that color out. This one I want to, just kind of have a little, I do it by the feel. And I learned that in that class. And that was all about, you know, feeling the paint and loading, like learning how to load up your paintbrush. It's a little bit different than this style that I do, because I layer in painting and stuff like that. I don't layer it so much on my brush, but maybe eventually one day I'll get back into doing a bit more of that. But I just learned so much about just like feeling that painting, just feeling it. I'm using here, a bit of the olive green and the green yellow for these little buds on the ends. And again, with these hearts, I started with the opera pink, and then I went into the crimson, this one. Crimson Lake is what it's called. So I started with this, and then I dropped in this. Oh, sorry, can you guys see that? No, okay, I started with this, and then I dropped in this, okay. So, and then for the little buds, I used olive green. Yeah, you guys can see me. And then this green yellow. And so we're just going to like let that be a bit. We're going to let these kind of dry up a little bit more. These are still pretty damp, but I want to go on with a second layer onto these leaves and just add a little bit more dimension. And you guys, we're not going to get too carried away here. We're not going to do anything wild on this one like we did on the last one. With the blowing, just because I want it to stay a bit softer and a little bit more pretty. And not that the other one isn't beautiful, it's just got a different kind of edge to it, and that's totally cool. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. I like those. I think they're looking really good. Picking up a little bit of that paint, the pink over here, just because I want to give it the illusion that it's not flat. So I'm going to try to pick up a little bit of that paint. So I kind of got it everywhere, but that's all good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, those are dry enough. Still a little bit damp, but that's okay. We're going to be able to add some nice pigment onto that. So next up, I'm going to use the deep green. This one here. So it's almost like a foresty green. We're going to go in with that, and I'm going to add a little bit of the gray green to that, just to kind of bring it a little bit more to the, just not so bright. Okay, so lots of water, lots of pigment. And do I want to do, I think I actually want to do wet, drop some wet down. So I'm going to go into these leaves again, and I'm going to just drop a little bit of that water. And we're going to go in with that darker in there, into that water. I'm going to dry off my brush a little bit, and I'm going to bring it. Oh, there's lots of water in there. Oh, I like that. I love that. I'm going to go a little bit deeper in there. Beauty, beauty, beauty. And we're going to let that dry just the way that is. I think that's going to be more than enough. So same thing here. We're just going to drop a little bit of that water in there. We're going to go in with that green and the gray green. Same. I like that kind of deep, kind of not mossy looking. What would that be? Not like forest green either. Like kind of an army green, I guess. Yeah. So we're just going to go around and continue to do that in these leaves. And we're just plopping it down, putting some pigment or some water down, and then popping some pigment into it. And whatever greens you so desire. Like if you love this green, that's a little, and you have a green on your palette, that's just a little bit more of this kind of like army green. Well, then use her up. And if you want something a little bit brighter, find that too. That's the beauty of being an artist. You can do whatever you dang well please. And there's no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. And I so badly want to stress that. Like, oh, when I was in art school, and I get it. You're in art school to learn the technical side of art. That wasn't for me, but it was ultra discouraging when you felt like you were really creating something beautiful and then somebody came in and criticized it and basically failed you on something. And I get it. They failed you based on your technical understanding of the art, what technique you were supposed to be using. But art is not something, I think, is something that you should pass or fail. No, I don't believe that, because it's a self-expression, and a person should never, ever, ever be discouraged to express themselves. As far as I'm concerned, you should never, ever, 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 ever be discouraged. So if you guys are watching my channel, I hope you always feel very encouraged to just get in and just paint. And speaking of that, you guys, if you love what we're doing here and you've enjoyed our video so far, if you wouldn't mind heading over and giving the video a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, if you wouldn't mind doing that too, if you want to see other videos that are to come. It's a fairly new channel and I'm evolving as I go, and we're kind of starting in this more looser style technique just so that we can have a little bit of fun and really enjoy the movement of the watercolor. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, I would love it if you did. So head on over and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the fun that we're going to have. And yeah, I hope that I can be, oopsie daisy, bump my camera, can be inspiring to you guys. So I'm still just continuing on, you guys, with the the same kind of colors, just now varying the amount of, this one's going to be kind of close up, just varying with the amount of water I'm adding in to dilute it. So as you can see, the more water there is, the less intense it is. The less water there is, geez, the more intense the pigment is. So that, you guys, is that. Okay, so I'm really loving how it's looking so far, and I don't want to get too carried away with the green because I think we have plenty of it down here already. And I think it's going to be beautiful. And so I'm just kind of like not filling the entire leaf, kind of going out of the lines a little bit. Just, again, feeling it out. Just a little bit more abstract. So for our bleeding hearts, those are good. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this cool pink. Cold pink. And I'm going to mix a little bit of, I think I'm going to mix some indigo into it. That's indigo up there. Because I want to cool it down. I want to add some depth. Oh, that's kind of making it a bit purpley. I got to keep adding some pink. Yep, I like that. Okay, so we're adding that because we want to just add just a bit of shadow kind of thing around the edges a bit. Oops, meant to clean that off a little bit better, but that's okay. Okay, and then I'm going to go, that's pretty wet. Okay, so I picked up some of that water because it was just too intense there. Oh, that's not really working out how I was hoping it to. Okay, I'm going to use that cool pink, but I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of black. And again, black goes a very long way. And I'm going to just a touch of opera in there. So you don't need much black. I know some people are intimidated by that, but and I'm dragging it a little bit down. And in an actual bleeding heart, they don't have these little tails that drag down. But I like it. It's kind of fun. So this little bit of dark, cool pink with a little bit of the black in there is just adding that little extra depth to our bleeding heart, which I think is probably good, you guys. Maybe actually I want to go in with a little bit of black. I'm going to be crazy and go in with some straight black. And I'm going to just dry off my brush, clean it, dry it so it's not super wet. Add a fresh little bit of water onto it and go and add some black pigment. I'm going to use the very tip, and I'm just going to drop, that was a lot. I just want to drop a little into the top, and it's blooming into our heart, which is fine, but that's why you want to go with a little, because you don't want it to overtake. And this one I don't know, something's weird about that. Okay, I love that. I think that looks pretty cool, you guys. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks great. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a darker green again. I'll use the deep green and then the gray green again. And I'm just going to add dimension up in here. So I'm just going to go and add a few little lines into these little buds. Clean off our brush a bit. We can just blend that around a little bit. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit of green on the tip of my brush, and I'm actually going to go do a fine line on this stem. Because I want to. That's all I can say. There's no other reason. I just want to add a little bit of kind of that greenery into there. Perfect. All right, you guys, I think that's going to do it for our hearts and everything. So you know what time it is. It's time to add a little bit of splitter splatter. I think I want some really fine splatters. I can go bigger on the green, I think. So we're going to use, I think I want to use that original green yellow. So I'm going to load up with lots of water and load up with lots of pigment. So that's that, whoop, shoot guys. That really bright one. I'm going to splatter that around a bit. And I'm not going to go too crazy. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with I think I'm just going to use the gray green straight up. I like that look too. Again, heavy water, heavy pigment. Okay, beauty. I like that. Okay, so for the pink, I'm going to go really fine with the pink. So I'm using my #1 script brush, and I'm going to go use the Opera, the very, very bright pink. I'm going to load that up with tons of water and tons of pigment on my brush. Get it in there good, and then we're going to go and splatter that. Oh, yes, I love how that turned out. Ooh. Okay, I love that. So good. So I'm actually going to go in one more with I'm going to go with the Crimson Lake. A little bit of that. With the script, heavy water, heavy pigment. Oh, yeah, perfect. Like one shot was good. And then I'm actually going to go in with black. Just a little teeny little bit of it. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. You know what? I think I want to add a little bit of green with this teeny little one too. So I'm going to go in with what do I want to use? I think I'm going to use the #1 with that green yellow. Just there. Ooh, I love that. Okay, you guys, we're going to let that dry up fully. And then we're going to come back and we are going to do our little bit of gold in there. And then we're going to go with our Micron black pen around the outside. I'm going to have to get some more Micron black pens because mine are all starting to dry up. Because I've just been using them like crazy. All right, friends, we are back in action here. I'm still waiting for this one heart to dry up, but it'll come together. We're going to start by putting down our gold ink. The Winsor & Newton gold metallic ink. Again, like I've said already, if you guys know of some kind of metallic watercolor that I should try, let me know. So we're just going to go around the edges of these little leaves here and down the center. Just give it a little bit of, interest. Kind of squiggly wiggly. Because that's just what we do. And we don't want the lines to be too thick, but sometimes they end up thicker than we want them to be. That's totally fine, you guys. It is all good. And just flow with what you're painting. Don't get too worked up over where this is all going. Obviously, you don't want it to be like all over the paper, but if you want to just drag it out a little, like I've done here on some of these ends, we'll go for it. Like just do it up. Okay, I'm going to go a very, very thin line on the stem. Oh, and one thing I am going to try using here soon, you guys, is that gold leaf stuff. Yeah, I'm curious about that stuff. I've not ever used it before, so I'm pumped. But yeah, I do want to try it. Okay, so in our hearts, we're going to try to go just a little on each edge, and then just in that center bit. These look so cute. I love them. So fun. Okay, so this one's still a little bit wet. Yeah. I'm going to hold off on doing that little guy there. Go one side of it. We'll hold off on the other side. Okay, we're going to let that totally dry. This is kind of always my, is it dry test? Kind of just go and dab it with your finger. Just go down and straight up and see if there's any on your finger. If there's not, you're golden. So we're going to start off by doing these leaves down here because they are dry, and we're going in with our Micron #1 pen. It looks like a fairly new pen, so I'm hopeful that it's going to look yeah, pretty. And again, you want the shape of the leaf, but you also just want to do it like kind of organic looking. Okay, I see here. Some pink splatters that are in there that kind of blended. Looks pretty cool. Excellent. Loving this, you guys. So yeah, I'm not like the crazy lady of Valentine's Day, or actually any holiday for that matter, but it always gives us a good excuse to have a theme for what we're up to. And so it's kind of fun to just have, you know, a little something to work on. Yeah, I don't even know. We don't have plans for Valentine's Day. I work all day, and then usually I haven't been going to the farm Friday nights just because I've just felt pretty tired at the end of the week. So I found myself, when I'm driving to the farm, I've found myself like pecking corn, if you know what that is, like when your head kind of bobs because you're so tired and you're actually almost sleeping. So I haven't been going just because in Saskatchewan we're so dark in the wintertime. It's crazy how dark it is out. So okay, we're gonna start going around our hearts, and we're gonna do that little line in the center, try to give it like a little bit of that look of bulging a bit. Anyways, you guys, so yeah, so I don't know, but I might just go to the farm after work on Friday. I said to Marco, it would be nice if you came down, but I think he's going to come here tomorrow because I didn't go to the farm this weekend. I was feeling really tired, so I just needed a weekend at home. And that's cool. And it's cold and oh, I love that. So I'm not sure. Do we write Be Mine or don't we? I'm not going to, you guys. I think just leaving it the way that it is. I might actually go and put some lines in the leaves. Just to add a little more pizzazz in there. And I'm not going to put Be Mine on there. If you want to, by all means, go ahead. Just because if you put Be Mine on it, then it's like, you know, it becomes a Valentine's Day card, which yes, it is. But if somebody wants to, you give this to somebody as a gift, say, and they love it and they want to frame it. My mom, she's always framing up my art. But anyways, you know, it's like if you put Be Mine on it, then it's going to be like specific to Valentine's Day. But if you don't, then it's all good anytime. So I haven't finished up totally that heart yet. It's still drying. But I've finished everything else up. Oh, you can go sign your name in there too. Oops, lost my lid. If you want to. I put it in there tiny. Just a little bit. Okay, and that is going to do it for that. Ooh, actually, I do want to splatter some gold on there, but we're just going to let that dry up. So we're going to take this, we're going to take the tape off. No, I don't want to do that because I want the gold to stay in. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Okay, let's get our gold. We're going to do our gold splatters. So we got to mix up our gold ink. That's the one thing about these inks is that they do settle pretty good. So I'm using my #1 script and I'm going to go and put my ink splatters on. I'm doing lots in where the leaves are. And then just a little as we go out. Ooh, it looks so pretty, you guys. Okay, that's still wet. Wow, I did a doozy on there. Okay, let's take this tape off now. And then I'm just going to wait till that little bit dries. And oh, look, that looks pretty good, you guys. Okay, I'm just going to go and slap this little bit of gold in here because if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget about it. And even though it's still a little bit wet, we're just going to go on the very edges of it here. There, that makes me happy. Looks fabulous, you guys. So that's going to do it for me for that. Check it out. That's our Valentine's Day card. That's our Valentine's Day tutorial. I doubt we'll do another Valentine's Day one, but if for some reason I feel very excited, I might do another short if I feel like I should do up another one. All right, you guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me, you guys. But thank you so much for watching. Here's our finished product. It looks so good. I love how it turned out. So we'll check you guys next time.